Is that good? Alright, guys. Are you being gaslighted? Are you being gaslighted by a parent or in a relationship of some sort? I'm pretty much just going to discuss some ways that you can tell if you really are being gaslighted, because it sort of is a catch-22. Because if you question if you're being gaslighted is like a gaslighting in itself. Because like, oh, you're gaslighting me. If you say to somebody, you're gaslighting me. Oh, no, I'm not. What are you talking about? They can, if they know what that word means, then they can gaslight you, asking them if you are gaslighting them. So it's sort of a weird infinite loop in that sense. But it's pretty hard to tell if somebody is gaslighting you, especially if you are not seeing a bunch of different perspectives on things, and if you live with only one other person. That is also a very, very prominent way to get gaslighted. That has happened in my life. If you're only with one person, then it makes everything so much easier. It's almost like it's a lot harder if there's other people around, because these people who are, they might not know what gaslighting is, but they're doing it. They're manipulating you, and they can pretty much get away with saying and doing anything when there are no other people around to be like, wait a minute, that's fucked up. Because if everybody else is saying, bro, that's fucked up, then they'll basically get called out on their gaslighting. But if it's only you and one other person, only you can call them out. So it makes it so much easier for them to make you feel like you're insane, which is the short definition of gaslighting is just making you feel like, oh, wait a minute, questioning yourself, making yourself feel like you are the wrong one in every situation. You are the crazy one. You are the one that needs to shift their point of view. One of the reasons that this can be really confusing is because, yes, in many cases, maybe you are the person that needs to change your point of view. But when you, in certain situations, it's gaslighting when a person is trying to convince you of something when you just know damn well that you are fucking right. Like, you are just so set on this. You are completely and utterly right in a given situation. But yet this person is continuing to tell you, no, what are you talking about? You are not right. That is like the first way that you can tell somebody is gaslighting you, is if they consistently are pretty much just shitting on your views and shitting on what you feel to be right and what you know to be right. If they are constantly telling you, oh, I don't know about that. Oh, no, that's kind of crazy. No, that's a little bit too outlandish. Oh, what do you, like, say you come up with a new idea of sorts, and it's not that outlandish. Maybe you have a history of writing, okay? And now you want to write a book. Maybe you're very creative, and you know you can do it, and you know that pretty much anybody can do it. But you'll say to this person, oh, this is my idea, I want to write a book. And they'll be like, oh, that's just impossible. Like, nobody can do, you gotta be so specially trained to be able to do that. What are you talking about? Yada, yada, yada. They'll just keep coming up with reasons upon reasons of why it's not true. And then you can give them the evidence. Hey, I learned that almost anyone can write a book if they know a lot about a certain topic. Pretty much what I'm saying is that you give your points, you give very rational points back, like, hey, I really think I can do it. But even when you give rational points, this is another way you can tell that someone is gaslighting you, is that when you are giving the most rational points ever towards a given subject, and yet it is still getting denied. It's like, what are you fucking talking about? If you're getting frustrated with that, then you might be getting gaslighted, guys, okay? If you are literally showing them, like, hey, this is working, that, like, I can do this thing. Like, somebody who is going to gaslight you and who is going to say you can't write a book, I'm just going to continue using this example, even when you do it,
they are going to keep it up and be like, oh, you just got lucky, blah blah blah. They're never going to admit it. They're not going to do it. So even when there is proof that you have done something, they will still keep up their point and make you feel like you're crazy. Saying you got lucky is still completely and outright denying that anybody can write a book. And that's just an example, but I'm sure you can apply that to other areas of your life. But this is how you know you're being gaslighted, is when you are literally showing them like, hey, I did this thing. Like, this is literally fucking working in reality. Here's the proof. Here is the numbers. Here's the objective truth that everybody else agrees with. And that's another way that you can sort of clarify if somebody is trying to manipulate you, is just explain the situation as unbiasedly as you can to another party. Tell them the situation, and don't tell them how you feel about it. Just tell them the situation, and if they react the same way as you do, like, oh, wow, I can't believe they said that to you, that's absolutely ridiculous, like, well, that's clearly not true, and then you are telling this to person upon person, like, oh yeah, that's clearly not true, that means that they might intentionally be lying to you and trying to gaslight you. If everybody else agrees, many, many different people online and in person are telling you, hey, that person is clearly not telling the truth or being very inaccurate and vague with you intentionally. I don't know why they're doing that. That is very odd. Then, yeah, you are definitely being gaslighted in that case, guys. Peace.